Freaks and geeks of horror.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Freaks and Geeks of Horror podcast. I'm here with Richie, Nick, Hillary, and myself, Paolo. And the movie we're going to talk about next is, it was actually a spin of the wheel. We did something new last week. We didn't do paper, rock, scissors. Either way, it was Nick's choice, and it's an awesome movie. It says three of us. Barbarian. Now, this was a movie from, 2022, I think, right?
Yeah.
It debuted at San Diego Comic-Con, I think. And universally, it was received pretty well. I think it kind of also helped that, the pandemic kind of created this weird gap in movies where there wasn't a whole lot coming out. And then all of a sudden this pretty good horror movie came out that kind of wasn't your typical horror movie. But for right now, I think I'm going to shoot it over to Nick and ask why you chose it, bud.
To touch on what you were saying, it was really well received, right? It had great reviews when it came out, and what was great is that the marketing didn't mess it up.
Right.
You had no idea what it was really about till you saw it, right? So when I saw it in 2022, like shortly after it came to streaming, it was kind of like a breath of fresh air as far as how I felt the future of horror is going. It wasn't a sequel, it wasn't a remake, it wasn't like an American rendition of something else, right? And my opinion, front to back, the first shot to the very last shot, it's a solid movie. The story, the acting, the chemistry with the two actors, we'll get into that,
Totally.
and we'll even, I guess, between everybody, even with Justin Long's character.
Oh yeah, no, they're all great. They're all great.
A type of chemistry.
Yeah, I mean,
certain, of a certain type, right?
Yeah.
And so no, I picked it because it's and again, three of us think this. It's a solid, well-rounded horror movie. Great story, great villain, if you will, and another villain that's arguably maybe not a villain.
Multiple villains. I think there's multiple villains. I think you're
Yeah.
not wrong there, Nick. I would go so far as to say, and I think we were talking about this earlier, I think the city, because it takes place in the city of Detroit, spoiler alert, it takes place in the city of Detroit. It's shot in a very rundown neighborhood. And I think the fact that it's in that city, the setting is almost a character in itself. I think it's very important that it's shot there because it shows... It's kind of one of those there's no one there to help you kind of thing. And that's kind of what makes it terrifying. At one point, even the police come in and they're kind of no help either because, quite frankly, they don't want to be there. You know what I mean?
They don't want to be bothered with whatever's
exactly.
going on. Yeah, totally.
But yeah, it all kind of starts off with a kind of a simple premise too. It's like these you see this woman pull up to a house and it's late at night, it's raining, and she has an Airbnb and she's trying to get into this Airbnb with the little, it has a little lock pad. She's trying to punch in the code to get the key to get inside. She finally gets the code and notices the key's gone. And I don't know what inspires her to knock because I don't know if she sees someone there.
So at first there's no lights on, and then there's a light that turns on, and she kind of walks back up. And
maybe that's what it was.
That's what it was.
Okay.
So there's no light at first, and then she sees the light, and then she goes up and she's knocking until
Yeah. So exactly. So, but she finds out that the Airbnb that she's rented is actually already occupied by a guy who's played by Bill Skarsgård. Hiya, Georgie. Who plays a great role, and also I forget the name of the actress, but
Georgina Campbell,
the girl that plays Tess. Yeah, she was really good in it too. Both of these characters are very well done.
That's something that I definitely give a lot of props to the characters they played. I feel that there's a lot of good actors that play these characters, and I think they killed their roles.
Yeah. There's
sure.
no denying that. And even Justin Long and his, he plays a huge douchebag in it. He still plays it perfectly. He's so good in it. But yeah, so. They wind up Tess and Keith. Keith's his name, right?
Yep.
Tess and Keith kind of are trying to figure out what to do. They've obviously been double booked in this Airbnb, one from one app and one from another. So they're trying to figure out, okay, well, and it's raining out. And I think Keith kind of realizes the neighborhood they're in. For some reason, Tess didn't do the research. She has no idea where the heck she's at. She doesn't realize she's in a real bad part of Detroit.
Well, the thing about it is she can't see any of the houses at nighttime because everything's dark, and he probably went there in the daytime,
in the day,
you know, and got the Airbnb, and he's like, oh man, can't go out at night, you know. So he kind of sees that, and she doesn't. So he kind of like looks out for her in a way.
That's true. I don't know why both of these people couldn't have used Google Maps just for a second
For sure.
just to see where you're
Detroit,
going.
maybe. I don't
But hey, we're suspending disbelief here. It's horror. It's all good. So yeah, they're trying to figure out what to do. Ultimately, and it's weird because I think the way everything's shot and the way Skarsgård kind of plays it, it's almost like the movie's trying to point you in the direction of him kind of being
the creep,
an unsavory character, the creep, you know?
Yeah, you can't really tell if he's being awkward because some people are just awkward.
Yeah.
It could just be his character to be awkward
and he's
by nature.
Yeah, he
but
skirts
I mean,
that line.
Yeah, it really like gives you like insight into like a female perspective of like being in this situation where it's kind of a worst case scenario for a woman.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that he sleeps kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
making noises and shit.
Yeah, he's not making noises.
Oh yeah. His little night terrors.
Yeah. But yeah, like she does all the responsible things. She's actually being a very smart last girl. Spoiler alert.
She's
final girl.
She's being very cautious in a weird situation because you know most people would have been like, sorry, I'm out of here. You know, like nobody's gonna. He invited her in to stay while he's staying there. Like most people and nowadays would be like, no, bro, like I'm out. You know, like it doesn't matter if I'll sleep in my car. I'll drive to the nearest hotel and I'll sleep in that parking lot. But nobody nowadays would be like, that's fine. You know, like true. Nowadays I feel it's like it's so strange out there that it would be very awkward for somebody to actually like be welcoming to that idea.
Yeah. And he was, I feel like he was trying not to be creep, but at the same time he was like, I don't know if you've taken a look around, like it's not great, because she was like, I'm just gonna hang out in my car. She was like, I don't know if that's a good idea. She was trying to call hotels. Everything was booked because there's some weird convention going on.
All the elements. I'm sorry.
Go for it.
No, go for it. You were
I was just gonna say all the elements are there to basically when she does accept his offer to stay, you're kind of like, okay. I mean, it's still kind of weird, but he set up everything, and part of me wondered at first, like, is this all purposeful? It's a convention. It's a bad neighborhood. It's raining. You don't want to sit out
because she
It's
didn't
like
even
perfect,
really do the research to see if any hotels were available.
None.
He kind of told her that they wouldn't be.
I mean,
and then she kind of just
looked
trusted
one.
him.
Yeah, she looked at
Did
one.
And
then
I mean, I would have
like,
been calling like every single. I'm like,
Yeah.
nah, hold on, homie.
Kayak.com.
Like, dude, seriously, like, you got to give me a second. Like, I'm not just gonna call the first one and be like, hey, we're all booked. It's like, bro, there's a lot of them. We're in the city. Like, we're gonna go. I'm gonna check out more hotels.
Yeah, it feels like a setup. It feels like he set the whole scenario up, and maybe even scouted her out and knew that she was heading there. And like your brain just goes in every direction, and you feel afraid for her because it is like major stranger danger. I honestly don't think I would have even gone in that house.
Like, Bill. Like, you're like, oh, this guy. Like, we can go either way, but I'm leaning towards creep with this guy.
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's clearly the direction they're headed. I think that's why. The acting was so good. I mean, she even asked him, can I see your Airbnb reservation? And sure enough, everything matched up. She even did the smart thing of taking a picture of his license when she kind of had the chance. She saw his wallet there on the thing. It was just like,
The only thing I think she messed up on is she didn't like call anybody else to let them know what the situation was. I would have called my mom and told her like, hey, I wouldn't have called my mom actually. That would have really freaked out my mom. I would have called out somebody who wouldn't freak out on me and tell him like,
but you know what?
This is
like,
where I'm at.
like even so she stays the night, whatever. Like the next morning, I'm out of there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting my shit. I'm out of there. I'm not coming back to that house.
Right.
Like this is like too straight. There's no reason why she should have stayed an extra night.
That's
even
true.
if she got along or liked the dude. Like, hey, here's my number. Call me. I'm gonna be at this hotel. We'll link up. Get a drink later on.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking staying at the house one more night. Like this is too weird. You know.
I think.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna. That's a great point.
Yeah, totally.
Before she leaves, she gets the note, and he's like, "Had a great time last night. Good luck with your interview." She's like, "Sweet, that's awesome." And she walks out, sees the shit neighborhood, and literally sees a house that has "Death from Below" spray painted on it across the street. And she's like, "Huh, weird." And her interview, the lady's like, "You're staying where?"
Yeah.
That's weird. Yeah,
She's like,
you shouldn't be there. She's like,
that's scary.
She's
No,
like, I'm pretty tough. Like,
So what happens before, like that morning when she comes out, is that? Oh no, when she comes back home, that's when the guy. Yeah.
the homeless guy. It was
Well, I think the thing that originally
Andre or something like that.
Yeah, the thing that originally enticed her to stay, though, and I think this was kind of interesting. It was like the thing that endeared Keith to Tess was, I think she brought up this like reason that she was in town. She was
Yes.
like, it
Yeah,
was
they
the
had a
documentary.
connection.
he saw
And
it.
he was like, "Oh yeah, I saw that. That was great." And she was like, "Really? You saw the documentary?" And he actually did know about it. And she was like, "Okay." And that's when they were like, "All right, uncork the bottle of wine. Let's cut loose a little."
But
bit.
you know what? That in itself made me feel like
It's a setup
It's
or
a setup.
something.
He set her up. Like
Yeah.
he like figured out what she was into or what she was doing, and
Yeah.
he's not like, you know what? She's into this fucking or book or play or whatever. What was it?
It was a documentary.
It was a documentary
My
about
bad.
jazz.
Yeah. It was a documentary, and he's like, you know what? I'm gonna research. I'm gonna
Yeah.
talk about it, and if she asks me any questions, at least I'll know, and it'll make it easy for her to get trapped in this position
Right.
or situation.
Yeah.
Well, he
Yeah.
doubles down too because he's like, I'm the leader of the Lion's Den, which apparently is an art collective that she knows about. She's like, no way.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
basically tells her like, she's like, I thought you guys were so and so. He's like, yeah, we're basically in Detroit scoping out other abandoned buildings to habitate. It's basically what he's saying to
Yeah,
her.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
he clicks with the Lion's Den in the documentary. She's
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm in good hands.
Like I'm like not the guy, but I'm one of the guys. Like who are the guys then?
Yeah. Please.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. He just knows too many like very obscure details
Too many
that
coincidences.
she can relate to.
Very convenient.
It feels weird.
But that was kind of the brilliant thing about it too, is that they're making you think that, okay, this is the guy I'm gonna have to keep my eye on. This is the guy this is the trouble guy. This is gonna be what Barbarian is all about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And turns out he's kind of not a minor role, but he's definitely like he's definitely not the most important role
No,
out of like
not at all.
the cast.
No.
He's kind of like a footnote almost,
First sacrifice.
because
Yeah.
no.
they actually wind up.
Footnote.
Yeah, I think what winds up happening is she does stay, and then when she comes back the next day from the interview, there's this homeless guy chasing her down, right?
When he goes to the interview, when she goes to the interview, the girl that interviews her is like, "Where are you staying?" And she tells her, she's like, "You shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Like, don't go there." Like, she's like, "I'm good," and she's like, "No, you're not. Please
Yeah.
don't stay there."
That was like a pride thing or
she's
something.
like, "No, I'm good," and I think she just wanted to go back to that dude or whatever. Maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe. Yeah, I
she's
don't know
like-
what the pull was there.
But she's all like, no, please don't stay there. Like,
Right.
trust me. Like, I'm from here. Don't
Right.
fucking
Yeah.
stay there. And she still is like, I got this. And it's like, dude, listen to the lady.
Yeah.
She lives there, you know?
Listen to her. Listen to the homeless guy that was trying to stop you. Even though it's like, yeah, this homeless guy's running me down in my house.
so
telling
then
me,
she-
you got to get out of the
Yeah.
house.
Like the
So,
fact
yeah.
that there's a homeless guy doing that at all.
That's sketch.
So
Should
that's
be enough
sketch. Like, the
reason.
guy's chasing you. Like, there's nobody around. The guy's chasing you basically into the house. You're like, I'm going to go in the house and I'm not coming out until a cop comes or something like
Right.
that. So now she's trapping herself deeper into that situation, which she
Even though
does.
technically the homeless guy was right, it's just the approach was a little like, I don't
Yeah.
know, maybe you shouldn't be running, screaming towards her. You know,
Yeah.
like,
But I mean,
read the room.
Like the people
I mean,
who
he knows,
you can trust
right? Like,
are
he
the
know-
scariest
Well,
He
somehow.
does.
the thing about it is he knows. So it's
Oh,
like,
no, he does.
bro, like you're gonna be in panic mode if you know what's coming. You know what's gonna come after you.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna be panicking. Like, please don't. I'm trying to save your fucking
yeah,
life.
that's
Like,
true. That's true.
That was another great setup in the movie because he's not like, it's like, ma'am, it's dangerous in there. You should get out. He's like, get out of that house.
Yeah,
Get out
yeah,
of
yeah,
that
yeah.
house."
That's the thing. It's like,
No thanks, dude. I'll stay.
it's not
He
necessarily
probably
the message,
went back
it's
to
the
his hut
delivery.
and thought about, I could have done that a little better. Because he was so different the next time she met him.
Yeah.
He
That's
was
true.
he wasn't shouting in her face and like chasing her down. He was
Yeah.
like a little chilled out.
Dangerous thing in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
my
was
gosh.
he was way calmed down. He's like, all right, I got to practice this. Whew, all right, get out of the house.
Probably not a whole
that's-
lot of human interaction
Yeah.
for him.
So then she basically goes inside the house. She calls the cops. There's nobody gonna go. There's no police officer that's gonna go there.
No one wants to go there.
Nobody wants to go there. Nobody's gonna save her in that situation. And she's basically trying to like figure out what she's gonna do. She's like looking outside the window. She's like, dude, this crazy motherfucker like trying to attack me. Basically, that's what she sees. And then she's trying to go to the bathroom. And there's toilet paper in the basement. And she's like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go to the fucking basement because there's toilet paper there. Weirdly
red
enough.
flag.
Come on, bro. Like, why is the fucking toilet paper in the basement? And like, that's
Can you tell who didn't like it?
there's so many red flags in this movie. I mean, and I'm not saying I hated the movie. I'm just saying like, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's one of the moments that I'm like, who's gonna? Why there's no toilet paper? I'm not gonna go to the basement and look for fucking toilet paper, bro.
I don't want to go to
definitely some
basement for shit.
There were definitely some silly horror tropes. I mean, it's just akin to like I'm getting chased downstairs. What am I gonna do? Oh, run upstairs. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same exact.
But
thing.
check this out. I love cheesy like horror. I love cheesy. This is just like that kind of horror. I'm like, in my eyes, I'm like.
Yeah, if she had gone and gotten a hotel out in some safe place, the movie would have been over. There would have been no movie.
A short film, not exciting.
Yeah.
You know there was a Motel 6 or Hotel 6 around there. Like, there's no way that it's
15
not.
minutes.
Like, drive to Grosse Point. It's 20 minutes north, you know? Like,
that's funny.
Somebody from Michigan's like, no, it's northeast. No, I'm like,
But yeah, she winds up going to the basement. She finds this weird trap door, this weird like roped kind of door
Yeah.
that
The rope
opens
in
another
the,
door.
in the
So
wall.
no. She goes down to the toilet paper and the door is slowly shutting and it shuts and it's locked.
Yeah.
So it's like locked on one side and not locked on the other. So basically you can't go through basically from the basement back to inside the house. So now she's stuck and she's like trying to get out and she can't. She's looking outside the window. She's looking around. Can't climb because she doesn't know how to climb at this moment, but later she does.
She doesn't know how to stack things in
Damn,
order
you
to
hated this movie.
step on.
Oh, I liked it. Yeah, I liked it.
But then she's looking around and she sees this like weird toy thing and she's like, oh, I'm gonna grab this weird antique toy that looks possessed. She's like, oh, there's a rope behind. And then keep on going. Sorry, guys.
A hole through the wall with a rope poking out, and she decides instead of trying to like climb out through the little window, I'm gonna pull on this rope and see what happens. And
Was she trapped at that point?
Yes.
She was totally trapped. So she starts messing
The door
around
shut
down
behind
there.
her. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
So then she pulls a rope and then it opens this weird door, but there's like a dark hallway and this is very dope. She sees a mirror and she angles, there's no light there, and she angles the mirror so the light basically blasts and she like goes through the hallway and that's the way she's able to like look through walk. I thought that was very
clever as fuck.
Yeah.
clever.
She
Like,
likes the hallway.
I actually thought that was very dope and I was like,
That's some Tomb Raider shit.
I know. I'm like, because maybe there's at the end of
Spirit
this,
temple.
maybe at the end of this, there's actually like a way out. So I'm like, there's not, of course, but I mean, you don't know what she's thinking, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
she's like, oh, well, I'm gonna go this route, and she starts walking down the hallway or whatever, and she sees this door, and she looks, and there's this camera in this weird room with like a nasty looking bed.
Yeah.
And a bucket.
She sees
a
a
bucket.
camera,
And a hand-
camera, a bucket,
a handprint
and
on the wall.
a
It looks
bloody
like blood.
handprint. Yeah.
And she freaks out and she's like, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
She goes back and then she's looking out and then she looks out the window and she starts banging it and
Keith is
and then
back.
Keith is back. So then he unlocks the door from the other side and then she's like, let's get the fuck out of here. And then he's like, and she explains to him like, hey, there's this weird room down there in the basement and there's a freaking camera in a fucked up bed and
It looks like a
in
dungeon.
a bucket.
It's basically a dungeon.
It's basically a dungeon. And then basically she's trying to explain to Keith and Keith is like, I gotta see this for myself. And she's like, no, bro, let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And he's like, I got this. I need to see
Yeah.
this.
He clearly doesn't take her seriously.
He wasn't taking it seriously.
She looks like she's crying and like she's clearly
Super
freaking
freaked
out.
out.
When he goes to the window, this kind of cracks me up. He's actually laughing when he sees her down there. He's just like, "What are you doing?"
Like, oh,
and I feel like
trapped down there?
I feel like that really is like where he's at mentally when she's trying to tell him about this very scary thing that she just found.
Quit
like,
farting around.
He's just like,
Yeah, that was the vibe.
I gotta
for
see
sure.
it. Like,
Oh,
why
yeah.
am I supposed to be afraid of a room with a bucket and a bed?
Yeah.
I gotta see it for
And a
myself and a camera. Like, why would that be scary? I gotta see it for myself. Like, that sounds scary.
As he, right?
That sounds
As he's
scary.
repeating it, that's okay. So that's why I give it a 9.8 out of 10 instead of a 10 out of a 10 because of that scene right there. Because I'm like, everything she's saying sounds fucked up. like a bed in a bucket and a handprint. Like, why don't you say it's a bloody handprint? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
But honestly, like,
I'd want to see it too. But
if you have like an innocent mind and you're just like, oh, dude, it's just it's an old house. There's a camera, like. There's just a camera there, and then there's like a bed. Like,
that's a fair point.
So what are you
Yeah.
talking about? Like a room?
Yeah.
Like just a room? Like with the camera?
Sounds comfortable.
Like
bloody handprint, no big
like
deal.
man, it's like who knows, right? Like it's 2022 at the time.
Yeah.
2022. Who knows what's going on down there?
Yeah.
You know, COVID just happened. Like they're just trying to make some fucking
Some people got bored.
you know,
and
No, he goes
content. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like,
I gotta see this.
some OnlyFans content. You know, it's 2020. The pandemic just happened. Like, you know,
like,
he's giving he's being reasonable, but at
Yeah.
the same time, it's like, bro,
Yeah.
there's because in his eyes, he's like innocent, and he's like room, bucket, bed, camera.
Not a big deal.
For a girl, oh my God, there's a fucking nasty ass bed with because she saw it, you know.
Yeah, she's the one that
she
saw
don't
it.
know
And he
how
wasn't-
crazy it looked.
he was being skeptical for sure.
For sure.
But
did she tell him about the rope coming through the
does
wall?
go down there. Yeah, I think he does.
It's
I
like a
think
hidden
that's-
door.
I think that's
I don't-
what. No, maybe she didn't.
She didn't
I don't
mention
know.
that.
I don't think she
don't know.
explained it well to him.
Yeah, I
there wasn't
think
enough
she was freaking
urgency.
out.
She was a
in
little
her
too
explanation.
fight or flight at that point. I
Yeah.
don't think she could communicate very well. She was just bugged out, and I think he did pick that up. So he did indulge and say, "Okay, I'm gonna go down there," which, you know, he shouldn't have, because that's the last kind of trip to a basement he ever takes. You know, he winds up
Indeed.
going down there. He winds up getting lost.
So she.
I think he gets.
So she's like, hey, Keith, like she's screaming at him, and he can hear help, and I'm like, okay, so she goes and she's like, he's not in his room, and then she sees that there's another door, basically, and I'm like, did he just bypass that door, or did he get pulled into?
Yeah.
a
He said
different
somebody
place?
bit him.
He said he did run into somebody there, and
Yeah.
I think he just was scrambling and got lost and lost his direction, because I mean, it's so dark in there. It's not,
For
there's
sure.
no lights.
But to be perfectly honest, at that point, I still kind of felt like maybe it was a setup that he had created, because
Yes,
he was
yes.
so dismissive
Well,
towards her, and then he disappeared, which prompted her to follow him further into the labyrinth.
I actually thought that it was going to be the story.
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
that was going to be the story
that's
of
what
it.
I liked about it.
Yeah, that was definitely enjoyable. That it made me like think that something
Oh,
that he was
this
the bad guy, and I'm like, dude,
got
don't
her
go
to-
there.
he got her
to go down there.
Yeah.
You know, saying like he's asking for help, and she's fucking so gullible. She's gonna be like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna go help this guy because he's trapped. Maybe there's another door. Maybe
Yeah.
he's trapped, and you know, and I feel that that was the path that it was going, but it totally went a different route.
You know what though?
Go ahead.
He still might have been a creep.
Yeah.
We don't know. I mean,
that's
it's
true.
Like, that's a conversation I've had before. I'm like, he wasn't even a creep. Be like, well, actually, if he got killed, we don't know. He might have been a fucking
Yeah.
creep.
Yeah.
Check somebody in the basement. Make sure nobody's cutting in on his action. He
might-
sneaking
when
in
Tess
to take advantage of
Might
it.
have been Justin Long part 2.
Yeah, when Tess finally finds him, that was honestly a pretty scary part, because he's kind of
Oh,
crawling
yeah.
on all fours
Dude,
from the
yes.
darkness into the light, and I'm like, it's shocking,
He's leading her the
You
wrong
see
way,
him-
but he's like turned around.
Yeah,
you know?
he's all
This big
screwed
old
up.
bugged out Bill Skarsgård eyes.
And that's where we see the first scene of
The
of the mother, basically. So there's this huge thing. There's this huge. You kind of don't really get a good look at it.
Like a
Something
mass of a person.
massive body that's coming from behind him.
Saggy boobs.
Yeah, and
Huge
just
saggy boobs.
in front of Tess, smashes Keith's head into the side of the wall, multiple times, just
Mercilessly.
crushes this thing in the ground.
I'll tell you this. Keith had no fight whatsoever, bro. No fight. He didn't even try.
He's like,
Like he didn't try. I'm sorry, bro. Like you gotta be a little bit more.
Well, both of them. Tess could have run away right then after the
For
first
sure.
head smash. Be like, nope, I'm gone. See it.
She didn't get smashed though. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he's just like, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And like he could have at least like hit it his head,
Yeah,
or
that's true.
like so his hand could get slammed, but it was just like all head.
Could have
like,
grand beat
hands
out
right
of there,
here.
dude.
Something, bro.
You
Like
have to have
shrimp,
some
shrimp,
self-defense skills.
like
Mother.
I feel honestly Keith had no fight or flight type of scenario. He just like she grabbed his head and he's like, okay, wherever you want me to slam my head is gonna happen.
That's
I was
true.
like, man, what's up,
Like,
bro?
I thought we were homies. Like,
Yeah, seriously.
I just kind of feel like Keith was one of those people who maybe never knew what it felt like to feel unsafe.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's
You
kind
said
of a big,
innocent mind.
That's
Yeah.
a big
He-
theme of the movie. I
Yeah,
think.
he was very innocent.
Yeah.
Like he was a theater dude. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like
Wants to think the best of
He was an
everybody.
artist. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
he's like, there's no fight in him. Like he's like literally like very innocent, very like chill. Like he does like movies and freaking. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like he was a theater type of guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Which leads us to one of the cooler aspects, I think, of this movie is there's a lot of smash cuts from a very dire scene to a
Sun.
very joyful, vibrant, sunny scene. And it smash cuts to Justin Long cruising down the highway in a convertible singing a song.
Ricky
You just see
Tikki
this
Tavi?
you just see this gnarly death scene, and then it just goes unexplained and cuts to a completely different part of the country.
Yeah.
You're in California.
It's California.
part of you kind of wonder too, like, is this the same movie?
Yeah.
That's exactly
yeah.
what I thought.
Yeah.
I had to pause it and be like, wait, did it switch or something?
But I really like
I
that.
guess we're still playing.
I thought that the unpredictability
that was enjoyable.
cool.
The switch of the scene made the movie like I'm like, okay, cool. Like
Yeah.
a new reset, right?
It is a
Like,
little reset.
Yeah, like chapters.
Yeah.
Unpredictable.
chapter.
So yeah, Justin Long, who's some kind of actor, Hollywood hotshot kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting a call from his attorneys, and it's not great news.
Nope.
He's getting Me Too'd essentially, and saying somebody is, there's one of his co-stars was accusing him of rape or something like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so he's being kicked off his project.
Being kicked off his project, stuff starts snowballing. Everything's going haywire. He's meeting up with his accountant, and he's dropping him. He's saying that he's not going to have enough money to maintain his lifestyle because there's not going to be any money coming in. He's dropped from everything. So he's like, okay, can I sell my properties? He's like, well, you really have to sell the expensive one here. He's like, well, what about my ones in Detroit? I have investment properties. So that's what kind of ties this. That's what you were kind of seeing is like, oh, this is what's tying this into the storyline that we just got from.
Yeah.
Because-
On paper,
Right.
he owns that house.
Right.
Yeah.
That's his Airbnb.
You may got that
essentially.
paper.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, he winds up having to go down to Detroit to see what the deal is with it, to see if he can figure out how much he can get for it, go to the property. I don't think he's been there in a long time.
He doesn't even know that he's not even allowed to leave the state.
Right.
He's talking to his lawyer or whatever. He's
Yeah.
like, you should. He's like, I'm not under arrest. He's like, unless you're gonna work for free. What do you want to fucking
Yeah.
do?
He's
He doesn't
like,
give a shit.
you
He's
could
like,
be
whatever.
arrested though. You are being considered as as being a criminal at some point. You could be. So it doesn't look good when you're fleeing the state.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm just going to Detroit. Okay, come on. give me a
Yeah,
break.
totally.
Yeah. He's very entitled.
He's super entitled. It took me a couple times to see it to figure this out. But when he was talking to Bonnie, the Airbnb manager, when he gets there, like it took me a few times, but she's like, "Oh no, the last person left like 2 weeks ago or something," and for some reason I didn't put two. I'm like, "Oh, she's been in the basement for 2 weeks." She thought,
Yeah.
Well, we
she
don't know that
left.
yet. Yeah.
Like that's what, because she figures she came and then left.
Yeah.
But she's in the basement. Bonnie doesn't know what the fuck.
Well, we didn't
Right.
even know she was alive.
Right.
Yeah.
We
'Cause
didn't
it
know
cuts.
Because
Oh,
it cuts.
you're right. He didn't
It
go down
cuts.
there yet.
Keith dies, and then the mother screams in her face. Rah!
Well,
and
we
then it
will
just
find
boom.
out she's in the basement.
Right.
But
She's
it-
still there.
I didn't know that till like later, dude. I was like, oh,
I didn't
shit.
catch that.
Yeah. She like basically puts it together for him, and then he's like,
That's Kate Bosworth, by the way, the voice actor.
no shit.
Yeah, I looked that up. I was like, Kate Bosworth, and just a
I haven't
little
heard that name
speaking
in a
role.
long while.
Yeah.
Wow,
There was
dude.
a few little random, because I think the director had a cameo.
Oh,
Yeah,
was the
he was the
buddy.
friend.
He was his
At the
buddy that
bar.
invites
Yeah.
him into the club and
That
starts asking him about it.
conversation they had, just it seemed like authentic for like.
Yeah.
For what it was, but like the way he's talking to his buddy,
Yeah,
like,
it seemed
It seems
natural.
like a douchebaggy, organic conversation.
Yes.
Because I know all about those, but because his buddy's like, "Oh no, tell me what." He's like, "Oh, okay, all right,
Yeah.
She didn't say no, but I mean,
Yeah.
I had to.
At first,
it took some convincing.
no at first, but
I don't take no for an answer.
It's
You know,
like-
something like that.
She really wanted it. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, so essentially,
But he sees that there are people's bags and stuff in the house still. So he's
Justin,
like,
or what's his name in the
AJ. So that's why he contacts like the rental manager lady. And
full of like he's tossing her shit around.
yeah,
throws
her
her
laptop,
laptop, dude.
That offended me so much.
throws her
He
laptop
tossed the
hard. I was like,
laptop.
Jesus, bro.
What a little shit.
What an
Inconsiderate.
asshole, dude.
So yeah, he's at the place. He's noticing people's things are there. He's like calling the manager.
He's
trying to
upset. He's like,
figure
what
it
the
out.
hell? Like,
Yeah. And then finally he finds the basement door at some point too, but it's a much more comical way when he finds it. He's actually super stoked because he's thinking, oh, there's additional square footage underneath. Can I count this as square footage when I sell it? So it, he's looking
Googles
for
it.
the optimal price.
He Googles it, right?
He's Googling.
Yeah.
He takes a tape measure down.
Can it be
and he's just
included
like,
in the square
heck
footage?
Yeah. He is stoked at how much land usable, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, he's looking on Google and he's like, unfinished basement is not usually considered. Okay,
yeah.
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah, exactly. Just complete dirtbag, just, ignorant of the fact that people's stuff is still around there and not asking any questions while
Like there's
going
the
down this
cages.
basement.
He sees the cages. He's like, what?
Yeah.
And he
Must have
starts
had dogs.
measuring them around the cages.
it's
Yeah.
horrible.
And
Like he puts himself deeper and deeper down into that
Yeah.
basement, just trying to measure more square footage.
And then he winds up he gets caught up he gets caught up with Mother.
Well,
Well,
tape
he
measure's
sees it-
seen.
he-
The room, the weird
He
room.
sees this weird light, like
Yeah.
kind of like pink light, and
Yeah.
he's like, "What the hell is this?"
Oh, that's right.
And he starts walking towards it, and then he sees a TV of basically like a infomercial or like kind of like a
It's an
Video.
instructional video for
Video?
like mothering.
yeah of like.
It's really old. It's from the 70s because. Okay.
No, keep it
I
going.
don't want to jump ahead.
No, we're
I don't
we're
wanna
jumping
jump
back
ahead.
and forth.
No,
You're
yeah,
good.
we-
Just say it.
No
So,
timeline.
like further down the line, there's a flashback that shows the original owner buying that video.
Oh, she gives it to him in the store.
In the grocery
Yeah.
store.
Yeah.
So it's from the 70s.
With the diapers and the plastic sheets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Don't need one. Got a midwife.
right, exactly. So yeah, this video is playing on how to be a mother, and the mother character has been watching this, and she's obviously pretty low IQ. She's nonverbal. She's basically kind of a product of like being a copy of a copy, like kind of like super double inbred. Just
He's making babies with the babies.
barely,
with the babies.
barely human. Unfortunately, it's just kind of a tragic character because it's not really her fault, but she is scary as shit. And like, she winds up taking advice and watching this this movie and kind of becoming obsessed with
Being a mother.
and that's kind
her
of
life's
her whole
mission.
deal that's kind of her whole deal in the basement. She has these
Basically,
cages.
just picture like a female version of like Sloth from Goonies.
That's
not as fun.
and completely naked.
Not as fun.
not as fun.
Not as fun.
No
as fun.
clothes.
You guys,
Doesn't like Baby Ruth.
you guys think that like
We don't know what she eats. Actually, we have no
how
idea what
does
she
she
eats.
sustain?
Yeah, we don't
Seriously.
understand her because she's alive. She must be eating something, but who's getting the food? Where are they getting the food from?
Yeah.
Like that's the weird part, right? Like
Is she a cannibal?
Uber Eats.
Uber Eats, right? Like, but this bitch is strong as fuck. Like she's like. That's
She's
what I was
big.
I was like, what does she have a CrossFit gym down there, or what's going on? Like there's no reason why this chick should be this strong.
She's got that natural strength.
Dude, something strength, superhero strength, right? I would say. But man, she is strong as hell, and she's like big. She's like 7 foot tall. Like it's
really
crazy.
tall. Yeah.
Like yeah.
long arms, long legs. It's like
Yeah.
like exaggerated
Long
features all around.
Other things.
Yeah, winds up.
Yes.
So when we finally when all is said and done, we find AJ and Tess locked up in the same cage, and the mother is there trying to.
It's like
Wait.
a pit. It's a pit.
Yeah, it's a pit. He winds up, running around, and she kind of chases him into this pit. You see her close the gate on him, and
Okay, my favorite part of the movie, I feel, is this part where suddenly a bottle lowers through the grating. You don't see her at all. You just see this greasy looking bottle coming down through, and there's like her hair is hanging down on it and wrapping around it, and it is such a visual.
Oh man, that's so gross. Disgusting.
It just makes you feel like, what the hell did I step into just now?
Yeah, totally.
Because there's no foreshadowing for that.
Yeah, you don't at this point. We don't quite know what the deal is. We don't know what her deal is. But yeah, we see the bottle come down, and immediately Tess is like, is kind of trying to coach him up, because I think Tess has been there at this point a few weeks, so she kind of knows the deal. She knows what's going on. But I think I don't think AJ does yet. So I think she's trying to be like,
don't piss her off.
Yeah, don't piss her off.
Just go along.
Just go along with this. Just go along with it.
She wants you to be her baby.
Right.
Just like, suck on that bottle.
No.
And you'll be okay. But he is freaking out really bad.
Yeah.
That scene with Tess sucking on that bottle was so unsettling.
Gnarly.
I mean, clearly, because like AJ didn't do it, and then she drags his ass out by his fucking ankle.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, ow, like it was nothing, dude. Like, you ain't kidding about that strength.
Yeah, there's.
Is that when she took him to the room to go actually do the doggies are
breastfeeding.
Yeah, you don't take the bottle. You're going to be breastfed.
What's up? You look.
We have
doggies.
dogs.
The doggies just had
It's
their.
fluffy
You look all
dogs.
nice and got your hair cut.
Hairs. Doggies got all
mohawk.
haircuts, and they all look very fresh.
That thing's nice.
They're good doggies.
Oh,
Look
they
at how
smell
fluffy-
so
you guys
good.
smell so good.
Oh my gosh, so soft.
So the doggies are back, and they look very pretty.
What's up, buddy?
Or handsome, sorry.
Boy.
Sorry about that.
Either or.
No worries. People love the
my
doggies.
God.
Look at the doggies.
Oh, you're fluffy.
Oh, look at the doggies.
Hi, Marshmallow.
Hi,
They're
Marshmallow.
so cute.
Good to see you. What's up, Marshmallow?
Yeah, the boys just got some haircuts.
They got all
Looking
groomed
sharp.
up, looking good, smelling
Looking
good.
sharp.
They look stoked. You guys are
They're
That mohawk's
silky
got some-
smooth.
That's
such
volume.
good
I like
pups. You guys are such good pups.
Intermission, dog intermission.
Doggy mission,
What's up,
dude.
guys?
Doggy mission.
Yeah. Good to see you.
So where we at?
So I
So
think at that
Bottle.
Justin Long wasn't drinking the bottle, so he got
point, he got some one-on-one
breastfed.
type,
Yeah.
and he got breastfed by the mother, which was gnarly.
Gnarly.
Ugh.
such a.
But then I think it does another hard cut into another happy flashback scene.
So let's go back a little bit. Hold on.
Go.
This bitch should not be stronger than Justin Long. Like, I don't care. Like, she's like, there's no reason why this girl
Justin
is.
Long's a little guy, dude.
But
He's
still,
a shrimpy guy.
Like, bro, like he has a knife. Like he ain't gonna stab her. Like do something.
Oh, yeah, he has the
Like-
little knife.
Like he has a little knife. And
I
he,
think
like
he dropped it.
he like drops it. There's even oh man, he
drops
drops everything.
everything.
He drops everything,
He
bro.
doesn't strike me as too alpha,
But
dude.
man, like
Not at all.
come on, bro.
Mad beta energy.
Like you have to be a little bit more. I mean, we'll talk about how strong this chick is a little bit later, but it's crazy. Well, okay, so we go back.
She's like the Hulk.
Yeah, she's.
I think she's a cannibal. I'm just gonna say
Maybe.
that.
Oh, good
I
call.
bet she ate Keith
maybe
because we don't see his body again. It may just be sitting there in the
That's a
shadows.
good call. That's
But
a good
like,
call.
it's never revisited, and we are in that hallway again.
Again, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I didn't even think
I
about
bet
that.
she ate him.
But you know what? We go into a flashback even deeper. Now we go into the 70s,
Yeah,
right?
the flashback's cool because it does the what I was saying was like it's a super dark moment, you know, this weird breastfeeding scene, and then it's like bright colors in the same Detroit neighborhood, but everything's very vibrant. They even changed the aspect ratio of the filming to
did.
make it look like time appropriate.
Yeah.
Yep.
It looked like a cool city, like a cool little town.
And it
Yeah.
was when the town was. It was when that same street was very, full of life, and before the kind of downfall of it. And one of the
But they're
neighbors
talking about the downfall.
but they are saying
It's
like,
coming.
one of the neighbors is kind of seeing it coming, be like, "Yeah, we're selling our house," and
We're outta
he's
here.
asking Frank, who is the person that's living in that place, hey, are you staying? He's like, "No, I'm staying. I'm not going anywhere."
I ain't going nowhere.
And he winds up going to the store, getting all these supplies. And it's interesting seeing the grocery lady, initially she's like, doesn't really want to help him. But when she's like, yeah, I'm expecting a baby.
She's like, oh, let me help you.
Oh, here's you're gonna need gloves. You're gonna need this.
We're gonna have a home birth.
Oh yeah, you don't have a midwife? Oh my gosh, bless your heart.
She doesn't think
your heart.
twice.
Don't have a, yeah, doing it myself.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what
you'll
it
need
was.
plastic sheets. You'll need rubber gloves. It's just like all this stuff.
So trusting.
That's where he gets the video, the instructional video that
For the breastfeeding, yeah.
winds up being the on repeat video for mother. Oh Jesus.
We back up a second when he's
Yeah.
leaving the house. Sorry. That the camera work, I just want to bring this up, was so awesome. So when he leaves the house in the flashback, it shows him walking up in the same shot, gets in the car, then the camera goes into the back seat. Clearly there's somebody in the back seat and then starts following him. Like
That's right.
That was dope. Another thing, the only CGI used in that movie was to make the grass greener because it kept dying when they were like
I was
watering
gonna
it.
say they had to have done something because
Yeah.
everything looks so bright.
So bright.
It was the only CGI they used because Zach Kreger, his goal with making this was to not use any effects that weren't
Yeah.
available when John Carpenter's The Thing was made in '82.
Oh,
So when he was
whoa.
practical
Oh,
as much
that's
as
cool.
possible.
So
They got him with the grass though. Got him with the fucking
interesting.
grass.
Well,
Yeah.
you couldn't really tell.
No, it looked nice.
I mean, it
Especially in,
looked
like, 4K.
vibrant, but
Looks
it was. Yeah, I mean,
I didn't think like, oh, that grass is fake.
it wasn't
Not at all.
gratuitous.
No,
yeah,
not at
yeah,
all. Looked
for
good.
sure.
Sorry, back to the story.
No,
Got
that
the
was
video.
cool. I like the little tidbits.
Yeah, right. Not too bad.
And then it shows him pretending to be an electrician.
Well, he leaves and sees the lady.
Yeah.
And then
Oh yeah, he's scoping out the lady from the grocery store, right?
in
Follows
the
her
parking
home.
lot.
He follows her home, and then he
Switches his outfit.
has just some coveralls handy.
Was it a water? It was a water guy.
Water
right?
guy, yeah.
Yeah, it was like DWR. Or
Yeah, because he
something.
went
Yeah.
upstairs and
Yeah.
checked out faucets and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. And while he's, he eases his way in, and this was obviously a much more simple time where I think people were
More trusting.
more trusting, and he definitely takes advantage of that. Goes to the bathroom and just unlocks
Does
the
a lot.
window.
That's all he does.
I'll
And
save
that's
it
the
for
whole
later.
point of the trip.
Yeah, and
Just
then
to
just
unlock that
leaves and
window.
says thank you.
Super trusting and like, not to get too crazy with it, he doesn't look like a Carlos.
No,
and his
he does not.
outfit said Carlos.
Carlos, yeah.
But again, it's the 70s. People are
Yeah.
like, oh, come
But
on.
honestly,
no way.
like,
Whatever, Carlos.
these are they're so trusting. They're not even gonna look at the name. Like he didn't say his name or nothing
No.
like that. Like
Did he even show her a badge or anything? Or he just
No.
like, oh
No.
man, got a clip.
I just have a clipboard and
It
I have
wasn't
a
anything.
no. He's just wearing a jumpsuit.
I didn't even know what he was checking. He's like, I heard there's an outage. It's just like, an outage of what?
water.
Like, what? She's like doing dishes or something.
She's like, no, we're not out of water.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. I was like, get out of here. But yeah, where are we at? Oh, so she,
He unlocks the window. He's like, oh,
Locks
any
the
problems,
window.
give us a call.
yeah. But then he just leaves.
Goes home. That's when the neighbor pulls him over. He's like, hey, Frank, what's going on? He's like,
I went out of order. That's why I'm confused.
nowhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Goes in the house and you hear the lady screaming.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it is like he kind of gives them like, hey, like we're moving out, and I mean that's maybe a reason why he was able to get underneath that deep and that far, right? Because you go underneath and it's like a labyrinth down there, like
Yeah.
right? There's so many different tunnels
Yeah.
and stuff, and I'm sure it wasn't just directly underneath. I'm sure it was like spread out.
Yeah.
So now that he knows that there's not going to be no neighbors, he could build a little bit further. So
That's true.
I think it was something that we were supposed to notice. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? We were supposed to notice that there's not going to be any more neighbors. And it's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, that's why it's so big down there.
Yeah, it only helped him.
Yeah,
he
of
probably was
course.
just like, cool, everybody's leaving. Great. I'll be left to my own devices, be able to do my own weird,
Exactly.
creepy shit that I want.
It's like, I ain't
Yeah.
going nowhere.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going anywhere. But yeah, I think after that point, it flashes back to present time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as he walks, he goes in the house and they show the long shot and he opens the door out of the basement. And then you hear the lady screaming, presumably giving birth. And he goes down, shuts it, and then it flashes back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that kind of like, that
Yeah.
scene sticks with me because I'm like, it just gives you an idea of like how fucked up.
Yeah.
And he could have had like
He's been doing this for
multiple
years.
Yeah.
women at once. Like there could be like
Oh, for
more
sure.
than one woman down there.
Oh, totally.
Oh no, there were all kinds of cages and stuff. Yeah, I'm sure there was. It's left to the imagination. That there's
Well, that's why I think the mother's so
shit.
intent on getting a baby because he kept making babies with her and doing fuck knows with them.
interesting.
Yeah.
Damn,
Gross.
that is dark.
Hell yeah.
So I think when it flashes back to present tense, where are they? It's Tess and
Tess-
AJ.
So they get separated, I think.
They are separated, right?
Yeah.
Because I think
Tess climbs out of the pit. Tess climbs
that's
out of
right.
the pit.
Tess gets out of the pit while
She- yeah.
AJ and the mother are doing their like special time.
Yeah.
She, Mommy and me time is happening for AJ.
She gets out of the pit. She winds up getting out of the house. I think she breaks the window to get out.
Now she knows how to climb, guys. Believe it or
It's
not.
a miracle.
Well, I think she was a little more scared for her life this time too.
Yeah.
I think last time she was bugged out and probably didn't want to break anything. This time she's like, no, screw
Well,
this. I'm out of here.
AJ is a good distraction too. Maybe the mother was just like constantly on her the whole time.
Could
She
be
was
that,
alone.
too. Could be that too.
So who helps her out?
She
Well, she gets out of there, but I think
Oh no.
Nobody.
Nobody. She climbs out. She gets in her car, correct?
she runs.
I think
to the.
I don't think she has her keys.
When did she
No,
call the police? Why did the police?
No, she
get there?
runs to the gas station and then
She
calls them. from the gas
does
station.
run to the
She
gas
runs.
station.
Yeah.
And they show up and they're all like,
Yeah, the
What do you
police.
want?
The police are very skeptical.
Yeah.
She looks beat up. She looks kind of crackish. Not gonna lie,
They're like, "Where's your ID?"
but she's
in the house.
yeah. She's. It's tough because you realize like the area that she's in. It's like, yeah, of course, the people that live here are probably gonna not be of sound mind. They're probably, who knows? They're probably thinking she's lying. They're probably thinking that she's,
She had to tell him, like, I am not a crazy person.
yeah. I think they just thought all the wrong things about her, and it's tough because she's being completely honest, but nothing she's saying.
I mean,
can make you believe it.
realistically, she sounds crazy. She's all dirty. She's all beat up. She's like, I was kidnapped, and he's like, you sound crazy.
Yeah.
You know?
And she
I
starts
just saw
getting
you break that
mad.
window.
Like she starts losing her patience with
Yeah,
them,
yeah,
and they
yeah.
don't like that.
Yeah.
Calm down, ma'am. And we find her again, just like when she was trying to tell him about the bed in the bucket, not being listened. I know you guys felt that. Like, nobody's listening to her.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like,
Get your car off. Get your hand off the car, man, please.
Oh yeah.
I was just like, God damn it.
Yeah, it's like this is already all over. It's over. It's
they
not
go to
gonna
the
work.
house and they don't even knock on the door. He's like, stop vandalizing the house. You don't live here.
Yeah.
Looks like you already broke a window
That's the
on
only
this
crime I see.
precious house.
So I think at that point, does she, the cops leave. I think does she go back into the house to try and get AJ back? She tries to like rescue AJ or something.
She does try to
She goes on her
rescue him.
heroic kick right here, I think.
I think that okay.
Yeah,
I
'cause-
remember it switching over to nighttime, and she like gets in her car. She gets her keys, and she like hits
Oh, but
the
this
mother.
is later. Like,
No, that's after that.
That's after.
It's the window.
At that point, she has to go back in, because Justin's character doesn't he meet Frank?
He does.
At some point.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of flashes to Justin, and he sees Frank, who is the guy in the flashback who was, claiming to, having a kid being born on the way and stuff, who's the mastermind of all this crazy stuff that's going on in the house.
But he thinks he's just some like poor dude who's like held up and super sick in a bed underground.
Yep.
Like he thinks he's being held captive
He
too.
thinks he's a
He
victim.
even tries to help him out a little
Yeah.
bit. Right?
Help
Like,
him.
what do you need?
Gives him some water.
Yeah.
He winds up pulling the little bedstand closer to him. But
And
at-
then he sees these videos, right? He sees like this like video collection.
that was a turning point. I think that was like when he realized, oh, this guy's messed up, because I think he winds up popping in one of the
Yeah.
videos and sees what's going on in this little filming room, and he's like, "You're messed up. Like you're an animal. You're crazy." But the funny part is like in my opinion, those guys are mirrors of each other. Those guys are, and
Parallels
it
there.
kind of there's little itty bitty hints like where, the TV turns off and he sees his reflection in the mirror. It's like in the TV. It's like Frank and AJ are,
Not far from each other.
They're not that far. AJ's gonna do whatever he can to use who he can to get what he wants.
He's a persistent dude.
And
like he told his buddy.
Frank does the same thing, And then when AJ finally turns around, he brings the thing closer to him. He notices Frank has a gun, and he's like, wait. But Frank just kills himself, and I think it's not because he's not guilty. He doesn't feel guilty about anything. I think it's just because he was like, we're going to get because I think AJ was like, we're going to get the cops over here, no, this, he's trying to play the hero all of a sudden, the holier than thou, and be like, we're getting the cops over here, they're going to find out about this.
Like, don't worry, I got you, man. He's like, give me that gun.
Yeah. Frank's like, no, the jig's up. Sorry. It was a good run, but I'm out of here.
did you notice before he goes into Frank's room and the mother's coming down, she realizes like where he's at, and then
He doesn't wanna go in
She
there.
turns around and leaves.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Because he's been abusing her.
Yeah.
He's the reason she's like this.
Yeah, that's. I mean, I guess. Yeah,
I think
you're
this
right.
goes to show that, like, despite like how
She's scared of him.
crazy she
She's
is,
still
she
scared of
knows
him.
enough
Yeah.
that that's the fucking guy she doesn't fuck with.
And the
It's
homeless
so
guy earlier in the movie warns Tess and tells her like that is not even the scariest thing in there.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
mother is
That's
not even the
right.
scariest thing in there.
That was after she escaped, I think, because she
I think
pulls her out
so.
the
Yeah, I
think
window,
this is after
and then
this.
you have that
Oh,
great
yeah.
shot of the mother reaching out and like,
Oh yeah.
and homeless guy's like all like, he's like
That was
calmer
right
now.
before. Oh, dang it! I'm getting the time frame mixed up a little bit. But
I think that's before she went to the cops because
what I was
That's
gonna
what I
say.
she tripped
thought.
over the tape measure.
Yeah.
Right, you're right.
And she's like, ah, and
Yeah.
then she like ran
You're
out.
right.
So
And she
yeah.
learned to climb
So
during that
so the homeless guy basically saves Tess. She pulls him out or whatever. He pulls her out, and then he's like, "You gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta get the hell out of
Yeah.
here." And then she's all like, "Well, I need to go help my friend." And he's all like, "No, leave far."
Not time for that. Yeah.
And then that's when she goes to the police office.
Oh, you're right. Okay. And then, okay, so where were we at? The
So
real
after-
owner shot and escape.
Well, then it goes to
I think she gets in her car and she thinks about driving away
when
and she changes her
crashes into
mind.
the house, right?
Well,
Yeah.
she saved that dude, right? Like basically, or she's basically.
No.
Did she go back in?
Not yet.
Not yet. So she's trying to figure something out. She grabs her keys. That lady or the mother comes out, and then she's like, "Fuck this," and she like runs her over,
Rams her into the side of the
rams
house.
her into the side of the
Pins her
house,
there.
and then that's when she saves AJ. She goes back inside.
Gets AJ
She
out.
tries to save AJ.
Yeah.
It doesn't go very well.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. She goes down the hallway, and I think they meet each other while one's going in and one's going
And
out.
the lights like very like
It's very dim.
dim. It's like it's very like off and on,
Right.
and on, and like the batteries ain't working. The batteries ain't fucking working, believe it or not.
Yeah.
For some weird reason. And then
Worst timing.
and then out of nowhere,
You hear a pop.
you hear a pop, and he's like,
So funny.
and then he's all like, "Oh my god!"
Hell yeah, dude.
I shot you.
Down ass fools, dude.
So basically, what happens is AJ shoots fucking Tess.
Yeah, right in the gut. A slow death.
Does he
So
even say
it's-
sorry? He says sorry. He says sorry.
Oh, well, I mean,
But I
some
feel like-
version of it.
But it was
He-
like he stepped on her toe. Like, I'm so sorry about that.
yeah.
Dude.
He's never really that sorry for
So
anything.
then they escape. He's kind of helping her like escape, but at the same time, he's not really trying to help her. She's lagging behind, and he's just like, oh well, I guess you can't keep up. You know, he's
Yeah.
trying to find a place to escape from mother because they notice that they turn around and she's not pinned to the car anymore.
No,
Yeah.
no,
She's gone.
She's
And they
like
don't know where
she
she is.
literally Tessa. She's gone.
Yeah.
And then that's when they realize that the car's not gonna work. The car, she tries to
Yeah.
turn on the car,
Yeah.
it wasn't working anyways. So then they start kind of going, and then they
They meet up with the homeless guy, right?
meet
Yep.
up with the homeless guy, and then basically what happens is like he's like, "You guys gotta come with me." Basically takes him to where he lives, right?
Yeah.
Basically where he's staying
A
at.
few houses down.
Yeah, a few houses down or whatever, and then he's like, "She's gonna find us. She's gonna find us." Like, I've been living here for how many years?
15 years.
I've been living here
Oh,
for
that was great.
She's like, you guys are homeless now.
No, in the middle of him saying that, he's like, I've been living here 15 years and she ain't never come back. And then she smashes through
She
the wall.
smashes through. She rips his arms off
She's
with her
strong,
bare
huh?
hands.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
And then beats
She's
him
strong.
to death with his own arm.
beats him
Ultimate
to
arm
death.
bar, dude. Ultimate
With
arm
his
bar.
own arm. Like she literally beat him with his own
Right out of
arm.
the socket.
That was such a metal death. Like,
Bro,
wow.
Metal AF, dude.
how the fuck is this bitch this strong? Like this is what I'm trying to figure out. Like I don't understand.
And she
Like
does it with
I don't
one
care.
arm.
I
That's the
don't.
same thing about
gets 'em.
Jason and Freddy. It's the
But
same
that-
thing. It's a horror movie.
Different type of
They
characters.
are, but it's like in horror, I'm always gonna suspend a little bit of disbelief.
yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm not gonna enjoy it. You
She's
know
a
what I mean?
behemoth.
But okay, so when people are like when
Deformed
when
behemoth.
people are incest and all that stuff, they're weaker, not stronger.
She's a superhero, dude.
Yeah.
Super villain.
Superhero. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, yeah, you could obviously
Foreshadowing.
nitpick. There's a lot of things you could nitpick. Honestly,
But
in my
honestly,
opinion,
that makes it fun. But it also makes me like, come on, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if I really thought about Child's Play,
Oh, dude.
obviously I would not get scared.
That's a whole episode right
But
there.
for some reason, to
Don't
me,
get
it's
me
like,
started.
no, that little doll is gonna mess me up. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? There's always gonna be a little. It's like, I don't have dreams. Freddy's never gonna get me because I never dream. Sorry, sucker. You know, there's
Not
always
today.
gonna be something where you can discredit the horror movie. So in my opinion, it's like, I get it. I get even the stupid decisions. Like, I can count on most horror movies having some kind of character that is they're gonna do something that's gonna set them back, or they're gonna do something that's stupid, and you're just gonna be like, oh, I can't believe it.
Don't do
I get
that.
it.
And that's kind of, to me, like what creates the genre, what creates the tension. Because if the main character did everything perfectly, we wouldn't have a movie. Like
sure.
like in the beginning, if Tess was just like read the room and was like, you know what, no, I should get out of here, it would be like a 15-minute movie.
We wouldn't
Yeah.
have this
You know what I
episode
mean?
right
We wouldn't
now.
have.
no, I get it.
But yes, there are flaws. You can poke a lot of holes in it for sure.
Well, let's say. Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, what's up?
Well, I was gonna say, like, we touched base on this in the beginning, but to reiterate, the homeless guy is where he breaks it all down. He's like, that's your house? No, you have that paper, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
But he's like, her daddy owns that place.
Yeah.
Always been there. He's
Right.
like, oh, her? It's like he tries to like explain
Yeah.
like, that's what you get when you make a copy of a copy of a copy.
Right.
He's making
Yeah,
babies with
yeah.
babies. The strength thing? I don't know. Debatable.
TRT.
Maybe she just
cheers.
doesn't know that she's not supposed to be that strong.
So then the story keeps on going, right? So She-Hulk beats him with the
Yeah. with his
She-Hulk
own
beats
arm.
him with his own arm, basically, and then
The other two scramble off.
they scramble off. Of course, Tess is injured. She's like shot, and then this motherfucker is like just running like fucking Flash. She's like,
Yeah,
see
leaving
you
it in
later,
the
dude.
dust.
And he's like, I can't get over. And she's like, well, you find a way. And then he starts going up basically like the water tower.
Another horror trope. They go up the stairs
Well, this is
where there's
after
going to
he
be no
gave that
escape.
big speech about being a better person. He's,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, he's going to be a better
Yeah.
person from here on out. And then the homeless dude gets beaten and he fucking
little
leaves her in the
monologue.
dust
Yeah.
and just.
Yeah, he was
Water
literally
tower.
just talking
She's
like,
like, maybe I'm a good person who does bad things.
yeah, yeah. I've
Maybe
done
not
a bad
really a
thing.
bad
It doesn't make me
person.
it doesn't make me a bad person. I've just done a bad thing.
Yeah.
Then bolts, leaves her. The lady that you shot in the stomach just a second ago.
Yeah.
You're just letting her lag behind.
She can barely make it up the stairs. Barely.
Lead her to the top of this water tower where now there's no exit, and Mother's seen you. She reminds him, "Hey, you got a gun."
Yo, the gun. Oh my gosh. Great.
And
You
once
have a
again-
gun.
Fumbles it, dude. Fumble Rooney.
All thumbs.
Yeah, it falls right at Mother's feet while she's running up, and she finally makes it all the way up, and I think the little devil on AJ's shoulder is just like, convinces him to.
Like, he's not a knife
Basically-
guy. He's not a gun
No,
guy.
he's like,
I'm
it's-
going to shove this lady off the edge and like.
It's either you or me. It's basically
Yeah.
you don't have to outrun the bear. You just have to not be the slowest one. So
Yeah.
tries to sacrifice her basically.
And it does work because the
Chucks
mother
her off.
goes after her, and the mother actually becomes kind of like a hero for a moment.
This is one of my only little beefs, and it's just because it physically she does the Spider-Man
How?
thing.
Yeah. How she falls
Physics
faster.
I don't know how
You'd fall at
the
the
mother,
same speed.
I don't know how
She'd
the
be
mother
behind.
the mother I guess
It
had to
doesn't
do
work.
the little like super pencil dive to get super aerodynamic.
Yeah,
to
she's
beat-
done skydiving,
Yeah.
clearly.
Right.
But
she
she
knows.
gets under Tess and breaks her fall underneath her, and they both boom. Tess lands on top of the mother on the ground, and
She's incredibly wounded, too. You can see like this huge pool of blood underneath the mother.
Well, they both look dead at that point.
Yeah.
I think AJ goes down there to check it out and scope it out, and he collects his gun.
I love that he is like trying to come up with a new narrative because he sees that Tess is actually alive.
Yeah.
She pops up
Yeah.
and she's like dazed. She probably has a concussion. And he's like, I'm going to take advantage of the fact that she is probably concussed right now.
Like, you slipped.
And I'm going to come up with a new narrative.
You slipped.
And you fell. Oh my
I
gosh.
tried to help you, but you slipped.
What a shame.
Yeah. But then at that point, we find out, Mother didn't die either. Mother gets up and kind of gives AJ exactly what he had coming to him from the beginning. I think.
Justice.
Got his eyeball squeezed into creamer and got his head
Ripped his head apart.
The goo was nice.
just got his head cracked,
Yeah,
which was cool.
squishy
Some
goo
Art the
coming
Clown
out of his
shit right
eyes.
there.
Yeah,
dude.
no, that was cool. And
It was
then
epic.
you think, and I we don't really understand all about Mother until we finally get to see this final scene with her and Tess, because she's very sweet with Tess. She thinks of Tess as her little baby.
And she sees the bullet wound in
She
her
sees the bullet
side,
wound.
and
She
she's
seems-
so concerned for her baby.
Very concerned.
Like she
Wants to-
knows it's a terrible wound.
Yeah, she wants to pick her up and like take her home, but every time she goes to pick her up, she's kind of wincing in pain, and she's like, "Oh, okay." Mother's like, "Okay, we'll just leave you here for a second." Tries again. Oh, it doesn't work. And in the meantime, Tess is, reaching for the gun that AJ just dropped after getting his head crushed, And at this point, it's kind of sad because you kind of look at, the mother. She has such a kind of a, for as gnarly as her face is, she kind of has a tender expression on her face, and it's very like she's worried about her. And in the meantime, Tess has spent her whole existence, it seems like, is in this movie, and it kind of goes back to, I don't know if you guys caught this at the very beginning when she's actually dialing the little thing in the very beginning. She's getting a call.
Her
from
boyfriend, we're assuming,
someone that won't stop calling her.
Yeah.
And I'm
She's
thinking
kind of
maybe
been a
it's some kind
doormat
of-
for a while.
Yeah, it's someone that might be kind of trying to control her also. And so I think this is like one of the few moments where she's like, no, I need to do what's right for me, no matter what, no matter how I look. And she puts a gun right to Mother's head, and Mother's just so clueless. She doesn't know that it's a gun. She's
She's like a cow to the slaughter.
I know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she pulls the trigger, and it's actually, even though there's a sense of relief because it's like, oh, she's safe. Tess is safe. She made it. There's still a sense of like sadness because you're seeing this creature be destroyed that no fault of their own is like put into this situation where it's just so fucked.
Yeah.
She's
And
a
it's not her
product.
fault. It's Frank's fault. Frank's the real villain.
Piece of
And it's
shit.
interesting because,
Yeah.
Fucking Frank.
you think this Mother character is the villain, but when all is said and done, after you step back and look at the bigger picture, it's like, no, the villains were actually AJ and Frank. Those were, they're one maybe a little, they're both gnarly.
Honestly, Mother was just trying to survive.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the only way she knew how, you
Yeah.
know, eating people, maybe.
Maybe. But when you're that low IQ and that like, I don't know, you just feel bad.
Yeah.
But
I was proud of Tess for pulling that trigger.
Yeah. Tess took the power back. She had to do it.
How about that ending credits song though? The gun fires and then right away the Ronettes Be My Baby starts. Oh, man. I was like-
baby.
And that's
Yeah, that
kind
was
of like
great.
It's pretty good.
not a smash cut, but it's a change of
Yes,
vibe
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
It would be cool if like maybe in the outro they show like little like cuts to like the police finally investigating and finding all these videotapes, because it's like, you know what, there's a bunch of missing women.
That could potentially be a movie, the Frank saga.
Yeah. Ooh, that'd be
Like
a nightmarish movie.
That'd be a
man.
Like a
nightmarish
prequel.
movie. Yeah. But it'll be all about the 70s and then Frank, you know?
Yeah.
How he got his
That in
start,
itself
getting
is a
his little
movie.
home
Yeah.
built.
Yeah.
Well, because we don't know
The birth of Mother.
You say the birth of. Oh my god! You said like when you said earlier we don't know it's a labyrinth. We don't know the extent of it.
Right.
They might not be those are the only ones we know about.
That's
there may
true.
be other mothers down there.
That's true.
Amongst the caverns of
Yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah. Or maybe they're just out roaming the streets in the neighborhood.
The hell you say?
I thought it was really interesting how the homeless guy, like backtrack a little bit, how he kind of talked about Mother as though she were like a neighbor.
Yeah.
Like
Come
he
on all the
had
time,
like a
nighttime.
very like comfortable kind of chill tone when he started talking about
Yeah.
her. Yeah, she's been living there for 40 years.
Well,
You
he's
know?
like kind of like enthralled. He's like, I can't believe she let you live.
Yeah, no
His
kidding.
eyes are all big. Like, oh, what do you
No
fucking do? She
kidding.
kills everybody.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah,
I love
wild
it.
movie though. I like that movie a lot. I thought it was pretty cool. I'd give it like I'd give it a high if we're going 1 to 10. definitely like in the 9s somewhere.
Yeah,
I don't know I don't know where exactly in the 9s, but definitely a solid.
We'll take 9, man. Yeah,
No,
right.
I love that
Yeah.
movie. I've seen it a few times.
Yeah.
How about you, Hillary? What do you think?
I'd give it like a 9. I really like how it like takes you there.
Yeah.
I like how it's just such a messed up journey, and you feel like you're descending into like the mouth of hell. Like you don't know what's down there.
Yeah.
And it's worse than you could ever have imagined.
You're on the edge of your goddamn seat the
And
whole time.
yeah,
like-
you can't predict one thing the whole time, other than everybody's going to make bad choices. You can predict that because
Faux show.
What about you, young Saya?
Man, I said earlier 9.8 out of 10. The only reason it's not perfect is because of that, the bed in the bucket scene or whatever. I didn't believe in that interaction. I think she did a good job at describing the situation.
Yeah,
but
that's true.
having never been in the situation, I can't really
Yeah.
sympathize. I don't know what she's going through, but 9.8 out of 10, solid. What about you, man?
For me, it was a very, very stressful movie. It was very
There's no
stressful.
denying that. It
Yeah.
is
Fucking
it's
stressful.
anxiety inducing.
And it had some fun moments, some cool scenes, some cool kills. And I don't give it, like, I mean, for me, like most movies that are like good, it's like probably like 8. You know, I don't really give 10s or 9s. It's like it's a solid 8. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a fucking good movie. This one I'll give like between 5.9 or 6.
Fair enough.
And it's like good, but it's not like, oh my god, I wouldn't watch it again.
That's higher than I thought you were
Oh,
going to give.
really?
Yeah, I wouldn't watch
Fair
it
enough.
again. I wouldn't watch it again. I thought it was a watchable movie, but it's not a movie that I'm like, bro, you got to watch this movie. It's like, I think it maybe people were hyping it up too much for me. And when I watched it, I was like,
Oh, really?
well, maybe it wasn't as good as they said it was. So it made me like kind of like downplayed how good I expected it to be. I expected it to be like fucking like fireworks, you know, but I'm like, it was a movie, you know, and it's like, so I think like a solid like 5.96, you know, like that's kind of like
I feel you.
a
I think
good
that's
movie,
fair.
average movie, yeah.
Yeah,
I like these
I've had a
viewpoints.
similar experience.
Yeah.
I had an experience like that with The Heretic. Have you guys seen Heretic?
Not yet. I was going to watch it last night. It got sidetracked. I will later.
Yeah.
Or
I think
will I
that-
not?
It started out cool.
For me, it got like so hyped up, and I love A24 movies, and it just didn't like live up to the hype. I thought there was better movies out there,
especially the third
but I
act.
also kind of want to rewatch it. I feel like it could have had more in it. So I
Yeah.
like know how you feel. Like
I've heard some like wildly different stuff about it. I feel like there's like a surge of great reviews when it came up, probably just because of the media filtering that through.
Yeah.
And then I started hearing like stuff like this, like, oh, it was great camera work until X. And I'm like, ooh, all right. Here's the thing. Do you think I'll be upset if I watch it? Like Cobweb
No.
was great for an
No,
half hour. I'm
no.
like,
it wasn't a terrible movie.
lazy.
it was still a good movie.
It wasn't terrible
really well made.
by any
Okay,
means. Yeah,
cool.
it was still well done. I just feel like where you think it's going, it's like I don't want to give
like
too
you
much
know
away.
how
For
like
sure, I'll check it out.
But it's
seen
the first act is definitely like my favorite.
It's got a
part.
strong start, yeah.
The very beginning's very cool. I'm
All right.
just
And I think that
Hell
Hugh
yeah.
Grant is a fantastic
Yeah, Hugh
villain.
Grant does great.
Like it was refreshing to see him
Yeah.
not just be some like suave older boyfriend type of guy.
Not
You
a
know?
hill.
and it's a
Yeah.
cool setting.
Yeah.
Cool.
But I just wish.
But the
that-
same feeling probably
I
that
wanted
you
to-
had for this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
I think that maybe it just got too high. People are hyping it up too much, and I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it's
It
Let's not
wasn't what
hype
I
anything up
expected.
ever
No,
again.
no.
Let's just
Don't. Just-
blank
well,
slate.
fucking just let me watch. It
Yeah,
wasn't even you
let it
guys.
happen.
I was
Honestly,
gonna say they
it wasn't
did that.
you guys.
They
It
did
was
those
like-
ads where it's like people are scared in the theaters and they're puking in the theaters. It's so scary, and it's like
They're running
it wasn't
out.
that kind of
It
movie.
wasn't.
There were parts
It
where
was
it
not.
was
Nah.
I
scary,
wouldn't be throwing that.
but to me, I appreciated the curveballs.
Like for me, there was not even like a scene that was like, fuck, that was scary. For me, it was more like I'm just fucking stressed out the whole movie, and I'm just like, but like, you know, that's what you want a movie to do to you. You want it to keep you on your toes, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like it did that for sure, and it just wasn't like scary to me, but most scary movies are not really scary.
I
to me.
can see
That's what I was gonna say.
Strong.
I think we can at least learn from this movie.
I was like, how is this bitch so strong?
I know,
That was just
I
me.
could do
The
it.
whole movie.
Come get carnied.
The whole movie, the whole movie, I was stressed out about thinking about how this bitch was so strong. Man.
Like everybody needs to know a little bit of self-defense. All right.
This bitch was stressing me out. I'm
Realistically,
like, where does she work out?
even men need to know self-defense. Or
And you know, and that's a good premise, right? Like it's like you got to think about it. Like all of us, a lot of us stay in different places. Airbnbs is something, a place that a lot of people stay at. So it's kind of like topical, you know what I'm saying? Like it's something that could happen today, tomorrow, yesterday, you know what I'm saying? And it just so they keep on happening. And I mean, I even saw a video recently of like a guy that came out of a weird door, like at an Airbnb, and like some old guy, and he's like, what are you doing? And it was like 5 guys in the living room. He's like, what are you doing here? He's like, oh, I live here. I'm sorry. I thought people were gone. And he's like,
was he living in the walls?
like he lives not in the walls, but like in this like small room or whatever. He was just staying there while like that's where he like sleeps. But yeah, I recently watched this. I don't know if it was fake but I think it was real, man. But it was just like some old guys like, I am so sorry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like kind of like freaking out. So I'm like,
I'll stay at a hotel.
Like,
in my room behind the bookcase here.
have you guys heard of frogging? Do you know what frogging is?
I recently found out that's fucked up.
There's a documentary on it. I forget where it's streaming.
where they like stay on in the
that.
roof or something like that?
Yeah, like
attic.
people living in their homes and they don't realize that there's somebody living like in the walls or like in the attic or
Getting frogged on, dude.
yeah, and they come out and they like hang out in the middle of the night while you're asleep.
Pass.
Hard fucking pass.
It's called
And
frogging.
they do it for like thrill, right? Mostly, or just squatting.
There's a squatting and plotting.
Ooh, you trying to rhyme?
Oh shit.
That's not a very not a very sexy rhyme.
Squatting and plotting. That sounds like my mornings.
I wanted to ask you before we move on.
That's great. That's great.
Let's go back to Barbarian for just a second.
Yes.
Okay, who here could handle being the baby?
For how much money?
The baby.
And you know what I mean by that.
Oh,
If I had to survive, sorry, got to do what you got to do.
bro.
Give me that nipple.
Honestly, you're gonna have to smash my head like Keith, because I'm like, I can't suck on that thing. Like even the bottle, like I can't do it.
I'll do
Yeah, the bottle with the
Titty,
hair on
honestly,
it.
Fuck that shit. I'm like,
I'd hang out with Tess and hit that bottle.
It's the bottle that made the people in the theater throw up, if anything.
Really?
Dude, it
Okay.
had
Well, not literally, but I mean,
Sweaty,
that was
greasy
the only
hair
thing that would be
bottle.
like.
nasty, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe I have a high tolerance for
I'm
gross
just
shit.
thinking of it. I'm just like,
It is gross.
oh god.
I couldn't do it.
Wonder
I'll
what the
do
milk
it.
tasted like though.
Answer your question.
I'll do it.
No, you gotta smash my head against that goddamn wall.
We're fighting.
I don't know how many times I could do it.
We're fighting.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
you or me. Now we're gonna fight.
Fucking A, dude.
I'm
Yeah.
definitely tougher than fucking Keith and fucking AJ. So,
Yeah.
But are you
like-
tougher than mother?
dude, but me and Tess,
That's the real
me and Tess together, you know what I'm saying? Like with that little dude, if I got that knife that fucking AJ had, it's a wrap, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
You're right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how to use.
Until she,
hello.
she got a flying armbar you, dude.
Yeah, seriously. But man, this bitch is strong. Like fucking, I don't know.
I gotta bring it up again, man. She like gets him like she's almost taken the back, but then rips off his arm with one arm.
I
She's
noticed
like,
that.
and then beats his ass with it.
Super strong.
So yeah.
I think that was my favorite death.
Likewise.
That one was gnarly.
The
arm
the
rip.
poor homeless guy.
Aw.
I definitely like Keith's one just because it looks so fucking so soft.
It's like hamburger
Hello, my head. It's like,
And it was
are you doing?
unexpected. That one was the most
Yeah.
unexpected one because
you don't
at
really
that
see
point,
her.
You don't see her, and at that point, you think that Keith is the bad guy.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
think like, oh, he's doing something squirrely down
Fucking
there.
creep.
And then before you know it, it's like, well, he's gone.
Yeah.
All right, that's what I thought about this movie, and then it cuts. Oh man, I don't know. I like some of those scenes where it just cuts dramatically when
Yeah.
it's something horrifying happened.
I am really so Zach Kreger, as we were talking about,
Yeah.
the director of Barbarian, is redoing Resident Evil. I'm really
Yo.
interested to see how he does that because he's supposed to bring it back to like what was intended before it got all Michael
deserves
Bay
it.
with it. You know,
It does
deserves
deserve
it.
something better.
All those Resident Evil movies, honestly, but I don't know what you guys think about them. I thought they all were all terrible.
they were action movies.
they were
They weren't
action
horror
They're
movies.
all
yeah.
terrible. There was a remake a few years
I like
back.
was it Welcome to Raccoon City? I thought
That one was
I liked
decent.
it.
That one was actually
I thought it was really fun.
kind of close to the game, but nobody saw it.
Yeah, and then there was the series that ended with like a giant like zombie alligator.
I don't remember the series.
Did you guys watch that?
I know that scene. I feel like I've seen
Spoiler
that
alert!
scene in like
giant zombie alligator happened.
pop culture somewhere. No, I've definitely seen that scene somewhere. Is it a series?
Yeah, it's basically like the corporate community of Raccoon City. It's like a development,
Huh.
like a
kinda
neighborhood development.
like Pripyat for Chernobyl or something like that, like for the neighborhood for the workers.
Yeah, like a self-contained neighborhood
Yeah.
for the workers. And then an outbreak happens.
What? When was this on?
It was a couple years ago.
What's
Holy
that
hell.
called?
I gotta check this. That sounds
I
cool.
don't remember.
Because was the movie called Welcome to Raccoon City?
Yeah, I don't remember what the series was called.
Okay.
You mentioned that like nobody really saw it. I had forgotten about it until you brought it up, and I feel that like I heard about it quickly, and then like the marketing team or whatever was just like, oh, get rid of that. We got to promote something else. 'Cause it
I
wasn't
think-
around for a
I
while.
It was such a
right?
deviation.
I don't think they. Yeah, I don't think it was anybody's fault, but yeah, I don't think it was advertised a lot. I saw it and it was like, wow, that's pretty lore accurate to the game, which was cool. It was like a combo of like the first two games.
Dope.
Or no, was it? It was mostly the first one because it was like the mansion and all that stuff. It was good.
Oh yeah.
I remembered liking it, but I'm looking forward to it
Oh,
deserves a reboot of some kind. I don't
100%.
normally like
It deserves
saying
a
that.
better version of it.
Yeah,
We can do better.
yeah.
Yeah.
Give me the Jill Valentine, Chris Redfield deals.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
I love those games,
Take it
man.
back.
That was like one of my first. I remember my uncle playing the first Resident Evil on PlayStation 1 and us being like terrified. He'd let us play it and I'm just like, "Oh my god." And then you're walking down the hallway and the dogs jump through the glass.
Oh, dude.
And part of the horrifying part about playing that game was the controls cuz it was so hard to control.
Yeah, turn and go straight.
It's
like,
not like directional.
I know.
Left and right rotated you like this.
It was the only game at the
and
time
then
that did
it's
that. I
up and
think
down. Oh yeah,
it was frustrating.
It was
at first.
that was part of the reason that it was so scary is because you could not move how you wanted to, and so even though the zombies were slow as shit, you're just like turn around faster. And he's like, "Brrr." It's like God. But yeah,
funny.
I
So
love
good.
that one. And then Zach, what's his name? Zach Krieger.
Zach Krieger, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I'm glad he's for a first director. I heard he did one other movie called. It was like a comedy movie, but he co-directed with somebody. So I don't think he counts that as like a like
Barbarian's
he's
his,
counting
like,
this
first
as
project.
his. Yes, it's his thing that I think he wrote and directed. He wrote it too, right? I think
I'm pretty sure he did.
I'm
yeah.
pretty sure.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did. Well, he kicked it off really well. I hope
Yeah.
that he doesn't go the way M. Night Shyamalan, where he's like, "Oh, Sixth Sense, best movie ever," and then just, you know,
I think some of his movies are pretty decent, but I get where you're going with that because
he's got
I think his
progressively
first
worse.
movie was probably one of the better ones.
Yeah, he
Although
blows
I
it
liked
too quick.
Lady in the Water, I liked Signs.
I liked Signs.
You like Lady in the
Signs
Water?
is good.
I like Signs.
Yeah.
Really?
Signs was actually kind of scary sometimes.
It was.
Not for me.
I get it. But for some reason, to me, I thought it was interesting. That was the one with Paul Giamatti, right? And Bryce Dallas Howard.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. No, I like that one.
I like Signs and Village.
Signs was good. I did not like the Village.
Village
Really?
was such a letdown.
Village.
Yeah, it was
Once
a
I
letdown.
once
But
you
it
learn
felt
the
like it
secret,
was
you're
going to be
like,
so good.
"Fuck this shit."
Yeah. A costume.
So talking about movies, upcoming movies, and movies that we enjoyed, let's get some questions going down.
Hell yeah.
Right,
Let's
some of
do
the
it.
questions from our homies and stuff like that. So this is from Slashers BJJ. They said, "What's your best horror sequels? Like, what's a movie that you like that's a sequel?" And I could go first if I may.
Yeah, go for it, dude.
Please.
28 Weeks Later. Fucking loved
good.
it.
Really
That's
great.
good.
I
Yeah.
love that movie. That's like one of my favorite like ones ever. Like I like 28 days later. 28 weeks later was such a good secondary movie. It was so well done.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen that in a while. I'll have to watch
Dude,
it
it
again.
was so
Yeah.
good. Like, oh man, it's good. And I'm so excited for the next one coming up. Of course, 28 years later.
Yes.
That's going to be such a good one. Do you guys have any good sequels that you guys like? Or maybe even sequels that you guys fucking hate?
What about you, Nick? You got one?
I got a sequel that I love. Psycho 2. The
Oh, is that the
sequel?
one with the? It's a lady this time, right?
It's
Or am I thinking of something else?
I don't want to. Well, I guess it's that old. Yes, it is a lady. I'm always worried about spoiling movies, and I'm
only
like,
saw
it's
the
40
cover.
years old.
I
This
only
year's
saw
It's
the
the
falling
cover.
out.
We've seen the cover
She's on
of
the
it.
cover, I think.
No, that's different.
No?
Then no, the cover has.
Oh, maybe I'm tripping.
It's like Anthony Perkins on it still. It's like
Oh no,
like a
maybe I
play
haven't
on-
seen that then.
I'm clueless
yeah.
about
So it came
that.
out like 23 years after the original Psycho, and it's like plays kind of like in real time in that aspect. Like he's been in jail for 23 years and then gets out, and murders start happening the murders
how
he
it happened
committed,
before.
and he's like, I'm not doing it. Who the fuck's trying to frame me?
Yeah.
And it's done like 1983, so it's an 80s horror movie.
Okay.
But it's like you're like Psycho 2, bullshit. No, dude, it's a solid fucking sequel.
Really?
Like, yeah, fucking
Okay.
check
All
it
right.
out for sure.
All right,
Interesting.
Psycho 2.
Yeah.
I really like the second Poltergeist movie. I think
Nice.
it's
Solid.
solidly
Yeah.
scary. It's
yeah.
actually like one of my most terrifying childhood memories
Yeah.
is from that movie. But watching
Carol
it,
Ann. Jesus.
I think
so scary.
Yeah, that one is scary.
That one's great. And I really like all of the Paranormal Activity movies. And there's
Yeah.
quite a few sequels.
Oh, the second one's pretty solid.
But the continuation of the story and how it like keeps on expanding is just really cool to me. And I
Yeah.
like
Hell
found
yeah.
footage movies that are done well.
I liked Evil
Gremlins
Dead
2.
2. Oh, Gremlins 2 is good.
Gremlins 2.
Gremlins 2.
So good. That's
Sorry,
great,
sorry.
too.
There's so many
You're-
gremlins
there's
in
a
that
lot of
one.
good
I like that one. There's a lot of different gremlins in that one. But mine would be like Evil Dead 2. I really liked the Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead 2 is good.
And then I liked I don't mean to be on a Chucky kick, but I liked Child's Play 2 also. I think Chucky starts getting his like
No, same here. It's
he
always
starts
with
getting his
the
attitude under his feet a little bit, and he starts developing as like an actual character. In the first Child's Play, it's like it's scary, but he's not animated for a lot of it. Like there's
you're right.
Most of the movie, it's very subtle until like the last like third of it. But Child's Play 2, it's just like, oh no, he's Chucky for a lot of it. He's doing a lot of the Chucky stuff. He's got more one-liners and stuff, and it's like, okay, you can kind of see his character to start to develop a little bit more.
I don't know many people who I love that one. So with the Foster family,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That one's solid.
Yeah.
very
I love
good.
all those movies. The third one, even when he goes to the military school and stuff. Like,
That is
I
fun.
don't
They keep
know,
the same
man. I'm a
kid, same
sucker.
Andy.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
a sucker for those. I don't know.
So another one, this one's from Damien, and it's basically like, what are some of the upcoming horror movies that you're interested in, like movies that are coming out soon? He mentioned Woman in the Yard. Woman in the Yard.
Okay.
That actually looks really good. To be honest, that movie actually has a lot of potential to be really scary.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of good ones coming up. Black Phone 2's coming up.
Oh,
As
cool.
we said earlier.
28 years later.
28
That
years
one's
later.
good.
Everyone's looking forward to
That's
that
the one
one.
I wanna
see
the
That
most.
one's cool.
You have Screamboat.
Oh, that's
for that one.
The play on
Yeah,
Oh my
Psycho's
gosh.
big.
The trailer is so hilarious.
So funny.
You have
So
this
good.
other movie called Hell of a Summer. I know they released it in the UK a few years back, but they're about to do a US version or the US release of it. So I think that should be very cool. Final Destination,
Nice.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude.
up and coming.
Yeah.
That's gonna be good.
It's gonna be
And
scary.
of course, the Toxic Avenger. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
right. Yeah, we just got to look at the new Toxie.
I'm so looking forward to that because it's
Yeah,
been
I'm
done
curious.
since 2023. You know that, right?
Oh, really?
Oh.
Yeah, it's been done since 2023. It showed at I forget the name of it, but one festival. And like the original thing, Legendary Pictures did it. And originally they wanted Dune to do its run and like get its hype, and then they're going to release Toxie. But then nobody would distribute it. But then, I think it's maybe Terrifier 3 had a role in it. But anyways, Bloody Disgusting and Cineverse picked it up. They're like, we'll fucking distribute it. But it took a long ass
cool.
time. So-
Interesting.
yeah, so it's just been in limbo. Kevin Bacon's in it, dude.
What?
Yeah, Elijah Wood. He's always freaky.
Elijah Wood's in it?
Oh, that
Elijah
sounds
Wood. I
awesome.
think he's a villain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
That's
Yeah.
great.
That's funny.
Hell yeah.
And then last question I have here for us. We'll have 3 questions today. And it's basically Nora. She's what kind of killer would you want to be, basically, or what kind of super villain or killer would you want to be? Go first.
I'd say I'd be a slasher, but only at a summer camp exclusively.
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
Cool.
Jason style.
Yeah.
Totally.
I like Freddy Krueger, so something supernatural. I like the idea of getting in people's dreams.
You know, I was saying
That's good.
I said
I
the
like
same
that.
thing. I would want to be supernatural, and the reason why is because if you're like a killer, like you're like constantly hiding. If you're like supernatural, you're kind of hibernating.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah,
like,
you can take breaks.
you could take breaks and just chill in your
Yeah.
fucking zone, and you know, I think that's a lot easier to be able to like attain, I guess.
Yeah, you can do
uptight.
like,
Yeah. For
like
sure.
they come back once every year,
For
once
sure.
every 30 years.
Yeah, I like the
Like you
supernatural
can take
thing.
a 30-year break.
So you're
Dang, I didn't think of that. That's a good one.
Supernatural style is the way to
Yeah.
Damn, that's a good answer.
I know. I was like, dang it.
I love Freddy.
You got it. What about you?
go. Supernatural.
Yeah.
That's what I would go. Yeah.
I would do like a vampire, I think.
vampire.
I think a vampire because it's like you
I
get
didn't
to
even
live a
think of
little bit
that.
longer. You can kind of be human. You're kind of sexy. I don't know what that's like, so that'd be kind of cool.
Well, vampires can have so many different kinds of abilities
Yeah,
too.
that's true. That's true.
So I have a question for my own. Like, I ask you guys: is there a movie that you really enjoyed that you see other people did not enjoy?
Barbarian.
Lady in the Water. Once we just
The
talked about
horrific lady in the water.
I don't know. I liked it. It's not necessarily a scary movie though. Let's see. As far as horror movie goes,
Gosh, well, I feel like my pick for the movie when we played the game was Cabin Fever, and I feel like not everybody likes Cabin
that's
Fever.
true.
That's a
That's
But
weird-
honestly, I love Cabin
love Cabin
Fever.
Fever.
I think
Yeah.
it's hilarious. I think it's well done. I think the characters are great. The plot's great, but it's not for everybody.
Right.
You know, it's not for everybody.
I'm glad you
And
brought that up. That's a great point. I think you 3 plus like 2 other people I've ever met in my entire life were like, that's a great movie.
Yeah.
Everybody else either like hated it or was like, eh.
I think a lot of people.
It's usually
didn't
like
I
a-
mean, it's gross. Some people hate it just because it's gross.
Well, it's also weird because it's kind of got a different tone. It's like
yeah, it's hard to know what the tone is sometimes.
it's weird. It's weird, funny parts with, and I think that's
It's
where
immature.
Yeah, it's kind of immature. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, I get that feeling about it too because I don't meet many people that.
You had to
like
be
it.
there,
Yeah.
guys.
But I liked it. Me and my
Yeah,
cousin
yeah,
liked
you
it.
had to be
You had to
there.
be
Yeah,
there.
Totally.
My cousin, I remember, told me about it. And she's like, "Oh, you got to watch this movie. I bought it on DVD. It's Cabin Fever." And I was like, "All right, I'll give it a shot." And I was like,
All
"What
right.
the hell did I just watch?" She's like, "It's great, right?" I'm like, "Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
weird, dude. It's weird." Pancakes.
She's like, watch this guy Eli Roth. He's going places.
Pancakes.
Pancakes. I don't have any fucking pancakes.
For me, it's probably the new Wolfman. Like, I feel a lot of people don't give it enough love, and I feel it got like very bad reviews, and I'm like,
The one that just came out.
yeah, and it's so
Really?
fucking good. I was so stuck on it, and I was like, it just wasn't your average like Wolfman movie, right? Like, it's not like the full moon comes up and you're a Wolfman. It wasn't that type of Wolfman.
really?
It was a virus style, right?
that's kinda
So it
cool.
made it so much
Lycans.
cooler. It was like a rejuvenated kind of style for the Wolfman, and I'm like, I fucking love it, man. It was so like exciting. There was a lot of scary parts. It was very dark and melodic. Like, it was an amazing movie for me, but I feel that a lot of people just didn't give it enough credit. It got very bad reviews, and I'm like, y'all fucking suck.
Yeah.
You know what? I said Barbarian. I was being funny, but I'm going to say The Substance now. And I feel initially, like, because of the hype of The Substance, like, a few people I like recommend seeing it because I'm in love with that movie. We're like, oh, yeah, it's great. And now, I don't know what's happened. It's a shift. And, like, a few buddies I asked to watch it, my barber, including Joe, he's like, I didn't like it, especially like the ending, the last act. I'm like, that's like the best
That was
part.
kind of the cool part.
Yeah, like it's supposed to be a satire. But
Yeah.
I've noticed, like, so The Substance, like, I
Really?
thought it was a hate-proof movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I found like 3 people who were just like, not for me. I respect your opinion. even
Maybe it
though it's
was like
stupid.
me and Barbarian. You know, maybe you hyped it up too much. It's just like, it wasn't
Yeah,
as hype.
I gotta be careful about hyping movies up. That's kind of why I don't watch like don't really watch trailers or anything.
Yeah.
I want to go into a movie. I don't
Dude.
read reviews or anything. I want to go into a movie not knowing shit about it.
Companion. I want to see Companion.
I
but
want to see that too. Yeah.
The official trailer, which like an idiot I watched, even though people said don't watch it. Like I guess gives a lot of stuff
yeah.
away.
That's what I don't
But
like.
so now I'm like,
So
They
the
make
other
trailers too long.
So the other day I was like, Nora, let's watch a Substance, you know? And then she's like, I've never watched it before. And she's like, okay, cool. I'm like, well, let me give you a couple options. And I like showed her a couple of trailers, and she's like, I don't want to watch that one. And I was like, I heard it's really good. And she's like, nah, the trailer, just don't want to watch it at all. And I was like, what? So I watched the Substance, but I'm trying to do some convincing. So hopefully
Substance is
it's
good.
like 2.5 hours too. You gotta like set some time.
Substance is pretty solid.
Yeah.
I think it's brilliant, and I will forever boycott Mikey Madison for stealing Demi Moore's Oscar.
That's
That is that not art imitating life right there?
Yeah.
I know, right?
Like,
It's like,
Yeah.
don't give the
Yeah.
older lady it. Going back to really quick, I forgot to mention a movie that I am kind of stoked about. It's I think Robert Eggers is doing that werewolf movie or whatever. It's just called
Like
Werewolf.
a traditional
Oh, but
style.
it's like German or something.
Werewolf or something.
Werewolf?
Werewolf. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Fraulein.
But I'm a fan of anything that guy does.
I need to
Up
start
until this
watching his
point.
movies.
Yeah,
I haven't seen one.
he's done some. Even he did a Viking one. Even what was that one called?
Northman.
The
Northman.
Yeah, that one was cool too. It wasn't like as scary as the others,
Yeah.
but he's just got such an eye for
It's
like he's got
style.
such a vision.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I give a quick shout out real quick?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to give a quick shout out to like all of our Instagram followers. We hit 500 followers. So
Yo,
you know,
thanks,
saying
yo.
it's over 500. So we really appreciate that, guys.
Thanks,
Like we want you guys to be able to follow us. Also, like I know on YouTube and stuff, but also like on our social medias, we have Instagram, and then we have also X as well. So, and of course YouTube. If you could follow us and like and all that, subscribe, all that
Word.
stuff would be really appreciated. I did want to say something though. 219 days till Halloween. So from today.
Oh,
so
shit.
excited for that.
Yeah.
We should definitely do a halfway to Halloween
Yeah,
type
yeah.
of special.
Yeah,
Is it
we
June or
will.
something?
Yeah, we will.
Oh, and then
I
I'm
feel
also,
like I should know that off the top of my head, but I don't. It's really embarrassing.
and I want to make it a goal. I'm trying to get the audio only versions on like Spotify and the iPod podcast. I know people have been kind of asking about that. Right now we just have it on YouTube, but
Apple
yeah,
Podcasts.
the goal is to have it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify soon, so that you could it's an easy one to just listen to if you just want to listen to. But
For sure.
we like doing the video, but yeah, it's in the works. So yeah, we'll
Hell yeah.
I know we kind of talked about that earlier, and I kind of been dropping the ball.
Well, I think I
but
was
we'll
jumping
figure
the
that
gun.
out.
Like episode 2, I was like, I was thinking about Spotify, guys.
Yeah,
You know, I could see a future in this.
Well, no, now that we're kind of, I think we're ready to get
No,
to get there.
yeah,
at
for
that
sure, dude.
point.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
if anybody wants stickers, if you DM us on Instagram and send us like a request, just say like, hey, can I have some stickers? And you give us your address.
We got you guys.
We won't abuse your address. We will send you a handful of stickers
Yeah.
because we want to spread the word. That's what we care about.
Yeah. It's that
They're
simple.
cool. They're
Yeah.
cool stickers. You want them.
Yeah.
They're circular, so they don't have corners. Very hard to peel off.
Nobody wants corners anymore.
Corners are so like
They're out.
square.
Nobody puts
shoes.
baby in the corner.
Is it time for the wheel?
Is it wheel time?
Time for the wheel time.
It's wheelie wheel time. Oh, wheelie.
Nick is going to
Y'all
spin the
wheel
wheel
watching?
because he won last time.
Okay, so we took off.
Okay, so we switched out
Barbarian
for a spin again, and then, well, you see what we
We
got.
added a poltergeist.
Read.
Added a pull.
All right,
Okay.
let's do it, dude.
All right. What is it?
Oh hell yeah, it's a new one.
It's Poltergeist!
Poltergeist.
All right.
Oh
good
my
job.
gosh!
Hell
Oh
yeah,
my gosh!
that's a great one.
It would have been you again. So it would have been Nick's win again if he hadn't given up that spot to me.
That's so funny.
It would have been him again.
Damn.
Oh my gosh! You're the luckiest person. I know.
Well, we changed the vibe in the universe. That was your spot now.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
won.
The
Had I
course
kept
of
it, it would've
history
been
has
for a month.
changed forever. I feel like we created a rift
Yeah, like
in the
Doc Brown
space-time
said. Yeah,
continuum.
funny.
exactly.
Yeah.
Don't meet
Who
your
knows
parents,
what will
Marty.
happen now?
Jumping gigawatts.
Wow.
Oh, yeah,
So
Poltergeist?
Poltergeist.
Yeah, it's a great
Yeah.
movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, and bonus points if you watch the second
Yeah.
one too. Honestly, they're both incredibly
Yeah.
solid movies.
Scariest
and
PG movie
if
ever.
if
Oh.
you haven't seen those movies, you should definitely see
Bonus
them.
if we watch 2, so we can kind of.
Oh, I'd be down to watch 2. We can talk about both of them.
I mean, well,
We'll say the episode was 1 and bonus material.
We can just talk about them both.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that
Yeah.
big of a deal.
we'll throw in a little,
They're
little
not.
extra,
they're not
extra.
super.
No one cares
Yeah.
about structure. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's for fun. All right.
it's all for fun.
Awesome.
all for fun.
Awesome.
But yeah,
Good
hope you guys enjoyed our podcast this time around, and
Hell yeah.
can't wait to see you guys on the next one. Make sure you guys watch Poltergeist, hopefully 1 and 2, so we could kind of, you guys can vibe out with us and stuff as we watch or as we talk about these movies. But very excited to give you guys more. The next episode is going to be our 10th episode, which is super cool. You know what I'm saying?
It'll be
We're about to hit
spooky.
we're about to hit that 10 episodes. So we're very excited that you guys been on this ride with us, and excited to give you guys a lot more.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for watching, guys.
Thanks for watching.
Like and subscribe.
Take it easy,
Boom.
y'all.
Have a good one.